Yeah, hello guys. Now we will talk about the next part. Now, the next part is about the profession itself, the CPA profession and the ethical professional. Now, first we will talk about the professional meaning. So, our society has attached the perception, attached a special meaning to the term of professional. So, the professional words in here meanings it have a special meaning for them from the society. Professional in here professional are expected to conduct themselves at a higher level than most other member of society. So maybe you can say professional is like the superhuman. Maybe something like you have got the skill that above the average. You like kind of the superhuman, above average. But yes, this is the meaning about the professional. They expect you to conduct themselves at a higher level. So it is like you need to go with many requirements, many training, many experience. So that's they will call you a professional. That's the job of the auditor itself. The auditor is a professional because they have to accumulate many experience, many training. Something like that. And yes, before that, you have to know the difference between CPA firms, the professional firms, and the others professional firms. So the CPA firms are engaged and be paid by the company, issuing the financial statement. So in here, the company that hire you to do the audit of the financial statement. Okay, this is still the same, but the primary beneficiary of the audit are for the statement users. It means like this. So you are the KAP in here. You are the KAP, and this is the PTA that hire you. They hire you in here to audit their financial statement. But in the end, your responsibility not for them, but for the user of the financial statement. This is the difference between CPA firms with the other professional firms. Normally, if some company hire you, of course you have to give them the result. But in here, the responsibility rely on the user because you have to have the responsibility to the financial statement users. Because once again, the user will use the information from the PTA. So this is the difference about the CPA firms and the others professional firms. And yes, it is like I said before, the CPA have to be encouraged themselves to conduct to the higher level. So it is like this, you can see, they have to go through the CPA examination, to get the CPA title and create the CPA firm. They have to in line with the standard, they have to know the standard TGS, and they have to pursue the continuing education, profession education, the others than the CPA, like CA, maybe CPMA, and the others education. They have to face with the legal liability. They have to get the ICPA practice section. There is some practice training from the ICPA. In here in Indonesia, it's IAP, Ikatan Akuntan Publik Indonesia, and they have to maintain their audit quality in the CPA firm. They have to be audited by the other CPA firms to maintain the quality. So it is like so many higher level, high level tasks in here. CPA exam, the standard, further education, legal liability, and the control. And of course, they have to PCOB and SEC. It's in Indonesia, so you have to follow with the IAP. So IAP, the Ikatan Akuntan Publik Indonesia, and of course you have to know the professional conduct, the ethics the professional ethics to become a CPA, to become a auditor. Yes, and now we will talk about the code of professional conduct. So in code of professional conduct under this is from the CPA meaning. So you have to know what kind of threats, what kind of threats you will have to face, and after that you will evaluate the threats, and of course you have to apply the safeguards, the pencegahan to protect yourself. The safeguard will comes from the profession, the organization profession like ERP, or maybe some legislation, or regulation from the government, from the organization. They will protect your profession, your job. And of course, the second option is from the work environment itself. The work environment, it will include the CPA firm itself and the client, who you audited. This is the safeguard subject. From where, from who? From the profession, organization, from the legislation, from the regulation, from the government, from the work environment itself, client or maybe CPA firm will protect you. So this is the threats from you will face from become an auditor. There are 7 in here. This is the summary. The summary of the threats that will face the CPA, the auditor will face. There are 7: adverse interest, advocacy, familiarity, management participation, self-interest, self-review, undue influence. So this is the definition, and this is the example of a threat. So like this, the adverse interest. This type of threats that a member will not act with objectivity. You will not become objective. You will become subjective. That's the threat. Because the member interests are opposed with the client interest. You have the opposed interest with the client. So this is the example. An officer, director, significant shareholder participate in litigation against the firm. So in here, you will face with some kind of dilemma. In here, you will face that. Here, the threats will be the management. The management will oppose with the the owner. The owner itself. So like the owner, the shareholder will oppose with the management because they have different interests. In theory, we will call it the agency theory. Because management, and the owner have different goal, different interests. In here, you as auditor, you have still become neutral. You cannot go to the one side of the owner or maybe the management. You just need to give your opinion, like what you got from your audit. You got the audit findings, temuan audit, just represent your audit findings, whatever it is, not being modified. So they will judge by themselves. So about this matter, you need to give this like some conflict to the others professional, like the lawyer, something like that. Yes, that's the adverse interest. You will face the adverse interest in the company. And the second, for the advocacy, in here the threat that a member will promote client interest or position to the point that his or objectivity or independence is compromised. So in here, you as an auditor have to be neutral, independent. You have to be independent. In here you can see the example of a threat. A member endorse a client service of product. So you as an auditor, you promote their product. You say that, oh, this product is good. No. Once again, as an auditor, you have to become independent. You cannot take sides. Tidak boleh berpihak. You have to be neutral, a neutral part. Yeah, that's why the advocacy in here you will be face, yeah, something like that. Okay, and this, the third is the familiarity. Yeah. The threat that due to a long or close relationship with a client. So these problems comes when you have a close relationship or long relationship with a client. It means your independency will be in question. Yeah, a member will become too sympathetic to the client interest or to accepting the client's work or the product. Yeah. So in here, yeah, is the example. The threat is you have a close friend within the staff in the company, and of course maybe some coincidence the staff of the company also an accountant who create the financial statement. In here, your independency is maybe is in question because once again you audit your close friends' work. Yes, so this familiarity, because you have a long or close relationship, yeah, you will have some kind of independency question. Is you really independent in here? Yeah, is you really independent in your work because you audit your friend's work? Yeah, your close friend's work. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, this is the third threat. The fourth is the management participation. The threats that a member will take on the role of client management. Now, in here, the CPA, the auditor, yeah, do the non-attestation service, yeah, otherwise assume management responsibility, such may occur during engagement to provide non-attestation service. So in here, you as an auditor also create the financial statement. You also provide the non-attestation service. Maybe it's the bookkeeping or maybe the tax service. No, if you do the attestation service, you cannot do the non-attestation service. Likewise, if you do the non-attestation service in that PT, the client, you cannot do the audit. So this is the example. Due to a loss of client personnel, the client asks you to assist with accounting activities. No. If you assist with accounting activities, you cannot do the audit. Yeah, likewise. Self-interest, the next part of the threats. The self-interest, of course, it's come from you. Yeah, the threat that a member could benefit themselves financially, of course, yeah, or otherwise, from an interest in or relationship with the client, yeah, or associated with the client. So in here, you as an auditor, yeah, has a financial interest in the client. So you think, oh, I can get money, yeah, from here, yeah. But once again, you have to be independent. You cannot gain any interest in your client. Yeah, once again, you cannot gain any interest. Yeah. Do that after you resign from the auditor. Okay. Okay, and after that, self-review. Self-review means the trust that a member will not evaluate the result of a previous judgment or service performed or supervised by the member or an individual in the member firms, and that the member will rely on that service in forming a judgment as a part of another service. The example is the member performs bookkeeping service for the client and then perform the audit of those financial statements. Yeah, so it is almost like the management participation. Yeah, in here you can see you cannot appropriately evaluate your result, yeah, because you yourself do the bookkeeping service. So that's why the name is self-review. You review your work. You review your work. You do the bookkeeping. You do the audit from your bookkeeping. Yeah, that's absurd. Yeah. So of course this cannot be allowed. And for the last part is the undue influence. The undue influence is from you will subordinate the judgment. So in here you like you underestimate your own judgment, yeah, and because of that you will be treated by the others, by the client, because your audit findings will be in question. They cannot agree with your audit findings, something like that. Yeah, so the next